it's no cost participation for, these fishing experiences. So, the events are free.
Yeah, it gives you an opportunity to continue your service. The reason most of us would join and serve in the military is because we feel a desire to do something to help out.
Welcome to Veteran Voices, SITREP, with your hosts, Tom and Chris Faust.
Welcome to Veteran Voices. I am Tom Faust, here with my son and co-host Chris. And today we have a couple of subjects on hand. We want to talk about a few different organizations that provide resources for veterans. The first one we wanted to talk about is called Heroes on the Water. They have a mission to provide wellness and community to veterans, active duty military, and they've expanded to law enforcement officers, first responders and such, and their families through kayak fishing and other outdoor activities. They want to create a supportive environment that promotes healing and well-being through this recreational therapy. And the idea is to help the participants reconnect with themselves and their families and their communities. So it really does, in the sense of things we like to promote, it does support the idea of reintegrating into civilian life after your military career.
I don't know. Yeah, it would be more of, things that you can do to balance the, stress or pressure you might be feeling from leaving the military. Kayak fishing. It's not for everybody. Some of us like me couldn't just sit out on a boat and fish. That's just not me.
I love it.
For some people,
I have a kayak. I have a kayak. I like sitting out on the boat, actually, and just kind of sitting out in the water and enjoying the sun and all that. So that's depends who you are, I guess. Yes.
Could be. It's just too quiet for me, but I mean, fishing can be used as a therapeutic activity for, let you decompress and reduce stress. And the thing about the Heroes on the Water thing is, it's no cost participation for, these fishing experiences. So, the events are free, equipment, meals, guidance, and they can even include family. They're designed to include family members to promote healing and bonding.
Yeah, that's true. And apparently, they're all over the place. It's a nationwide presence. They're volunteers and staff. The program's available across the country. And they also like to work with building community. The volunteers will help and create a welcome and supporting environment for the participants, of course. And then, as you were talking off screen earlier, Chris, about the therapeutic programs, the therapy part of it. So they actually do partnerships with the VA and the DoD.
Their current reach for that's over 38,000 veterans, first responders, and their families that are benefiting from it currently. They have regularly scheduled fishing events across the country. But yeah, one of the things that I noticed about this too is it started with a focus on veterans and then expanded to the first responders and families. So it's really cool they did that. It's like, hey, this is also good for other people who have served the country in one way or another, not necessarily in war or combat, but first responders, from firefighters to EMS, things like that. They go through some of the same things, and they also need some of that. So it's a good thing that it helps them out too.
And the thing about first responders as well is that they also can tend to have PTSD and the similar issues because of the stress and the type of work that they do. And so there's a lot of mental health benefits to this. And the participants, people who have gone through this, do report that they've had significant reductions in their stress and symptoms of PTSD. So it is helpful. Sitting quietly on the water, like you don't like to do, Chris, it can help. And so there's a lot of community support for it as well where they do it. So that's really good. And they're rated pretty high too, as far as charities are concerned. They have a 96% score with Charity Navigator. So that's good. That means that, whatever donations and things they get, they're using them wisely. They're actually spending it on helping the veterans and the people involved, not going all to administration into somebody's pocket, which is an important thing to be aware of if you're going to donate to any organization.
Yeah.
And they have they have volunteer opportunities as well. So, if you're interested in helping out with something like this, particularly if you do like sitting in a boat fishing, this might be something for you to help with. But there's ways to contact them, and we'll provide a link to their website and everything. But you can help with, coordination of events, guiding participants, with the outreach. And they collaborate with various other organizations. So if you're involved with a similar organization, then, you might be able to get involved with this as well.
So another organization that focuses to help with veterans is called The Mission Continues. And what's interesting about this one here is a lot of the times when, veterans, when they get out of the military, they can kind of lose their way and kind of figure out what can I do that, can help continue things, because they've been doing it for a few years. So it's kind of what they know. So The Mission Continues actually connects veterans with opportunities to continue their service and leadership in under-resourced communities. And it aims to empower veterans to apply their skills and dedication to foster community development and support. All veterans who desire to continue their service, could be a part of the transformative movement that, helps positive change in communities that could be in desperate need of, development and leadership and guidance and help to get to where they, I'm sure, want to be.
Yeah, it gives you an opportunity to continue your service because you've already been. The reason most of us would join and serve in the military is because we feel a desire to do something to help out, to serve our country, to use that as a way to grow as well. Because when you give, you also get back. It kind of works both ways, and so it can be very fulfilling to help out and to serve in these ways. And they'll do things like helping, schools if the schools need some work done outside, or a community center needs some help. You might help with that. There's a lot of food drives and things that they work with, and they're all over the country. They have what they call platoons in various places, and not all states, but most states have at least one. There are 74 altogether. Looks like they've done almost 1,500 service projects since 2019. So it's like 300 a year on average or something. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. They also have like a 6-month community-based leadership program to combine in-person and online learning in order to equip veterans with skills to serve as community leaders. Because you might have the experience of doing things there, but leading communities or doing something like that is a little bit different, especially when you're trying to, lead people who might not have been in the military. That was one of my biggest things of going into any job, is having to talk differently, because there's a method of communication and conversation that you had for years when you were in. Then you get outside and some of the same terminologies don't translate as well to civilian people who've never experienced it. But another good thing that this has is for women veterans. They have leadership programs, and that's a 5-month program that supports women veterans in identifying, leadership pathways, strengthening skills, and helps to create a nationwide network of like-minded women veterans.
Yeah, and then they have a thing that they call VOLT, a Veteran Online Leadership Training. This is the online part that Chris mentioned a few moments ago. Which offers veteran-focused courses on the community leadership and personal development. So it works both ways. You can kind of help develop your own skills. I'm pretty sure they teach things like speaking skills and leadership skills to be able to help with or head up some of their platoons in the various cities. You can join up for one near you. If there isn't one near you, I'd imagine you could contact them and say, hey, we don't have one here. Let's create a new group here and get some work done in my local community. But they've got what does it say here? Over 93,000 volunteers have been working with them. And they've done over almost 9,000 service projects in 4,000 different communities. So it's really a lot of stuff there, a lot of impact that they're having.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were also named one of the 50 best nonprofits to work for from 2012 to 2014. They received a innovation award in 2011 from the Social Venture Network and have some other escalades, and they are definitely recognized for their transparency and effectiveness in their operations.
Mm-hmm. And so, so they do have volunteering opportunities. If you're interested, they, of course, would take donations. And also, like the Heroes on the Water, they also collaborate with other local organizations and try and expand the reach and impact that they can have. And then the third one that we wanted to talk about today is called VetTix, which is Veteran Tickets Foundation. And this is the one that prompted me to come up with some ideas for this episode, because it turns out that I've been signed up with VetTix for some time, and I get their emails, but I hadn't actually made use of anything. But they offer different things, from concerts to sporting events to just all different kinds of things that you might need tickets to get to but can't afford. And a few weeks ago, I was out with my daughter and granddaughter, and we noticed a billboard as we were driving by for the Frozen, the Disney show, Broadway show of Frozen, coming to town, and it's a few nights. And my daughter looked into the price, and it's not terribly cheap. It was more than we could afford. And so the other day, I just happened to notice that VetTix had some tickets available for that, and I managed to get 3 tickets to take them to go see Frozen. So we're going to do that next week. And I just thought that was really awesome, because the tickets were free. And it's just a thing they do for veterans and first responders. Their mission is to provide these free event tickets to currently serving military members, honorably discharged veterans, and immediate families of troops killed in action. That'd be like the Gold Star families. Mm-hmm. And the goal is to reduce the stress, strengthen the family bonds, and encourage veterans to engage with their communities.
Yeah, that's actually really cool that they promote things like that. Especially it's like, you get things for the veterans, but being able to get like additional tickets for family members is great, because you might not want to go to some of these things by yourself. I mean, you could, but things are always better with immediate family. I checked in my area because I just signed up for it. I wasn't aware of it until you had mentioned it to me. I haven't used it yet, but I did sign up for it, and they do cover a pretty wide gamut. Like I saw opportunities for Denver Improv and things like that, for comedy shows, baseball games, and then just some other general things that didn't particularly interest me in general. But they have, it goes from sports to ballet to musicals, things like that. It's just crazy what they have, and it's all based off of either they'll purchase the tickets with with what they get from donations, or they get it from sponsors, like so-and-so event will give them, hey, we've got this many here tickets that we can give you to hand out for people that might want them. So it's actually really cool. Performing arts, educational events, even museums, concerts, and it's really cool where the veterans just sign up on the VetTix website, where your service gets verified, and then from there you can request tickets to events, and might be like a small processing. I mean, you would know better than I would on that one, but
yeah, it cost me like $15 or $20 or something like that, a fee that's in addition to the tickets, to that whatever it is that it covers. But so basically, the tickets are free, is a small fee, and it's just amazingly reasonable price for what you get.
Nice.
The idea came about when the founder noticed that at a Super Bowl game he was watching, there were a whole bunch of empty seats. And he started thinking, well, if they have all these empty seats, maybe there's a way to share those with veterans and first responders. And that's how that came about. And it's just a great idea. Yeah, you can request tickets for various events. You can choose within reason how many you need for yourself and your family members. And that's what it's all about. They've distributed over 20 million tickets, estimated value of over $1 billion already. That's just phenomenal. But again, this helps, veterans with their families reintegrate into civilian life. It helps because you get to go out and do something outside of the house. So you're improving your mental health and strengthening the social support networks. They partner with various organizations in order, like Chris said, in order to get these tickets, sports teams, venues, etc.
Yeah, and for those wanting to give back too, there's also volunteer opportunities because the volunteers can help with event coordination, ticket distribution, and community outreach to get the word out of these things.
Mm-hmm.
But this,
and of course, you can donate yourself if you want to as well.
You could. Maybe you're at a point where you can, unfortunately, it's like, hey, I've got something I can't go to, or came across, or it's like, oh, hey, I've got something that I can contribute to. So it's a good way to, kind of have that circle of like, if you've needed it and then you might not need it. It's like, oh, hey, I can give back. And, that's also good for helping to build a community, or at least help better yourself as well. The charity does hold high ratings as well from watchdog organizations. So that's always, that's always good when you get high ratings, because it's sad. There's a lot of charity organizations that pop up that aren't really, and it's sad that people try and take advantage of veterans. Like there's I've seen them out in front of stores around my neighborhood where someone will go there wearing BDUs, and they'll just stand out there with a fancy poster or whatever that they made around a table and try and get donations from people that are walking into stores. And when you look at it, it's not the person's not prior military. It's a fake organization. They basically just take your money and go. It's sad. It's really sad that it comes down to that, where people are trying to take advantage of, oh, we're helping veterans, we're helping military members, and then you just run away with the money. It's sad. So I'm glad there's these watchdog organizations that look over these to make sure that, hey, it is legitimate and it does really want to help people and help who they're saying they're supposed to be helping.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. And then VetTix also, of course, has a lot of very positive testimonials from veterans and their families. And I just might be adding one next week myself. So they do encourage you to take a picture of yourself with, in your group with the tickets and link to their organization, on social media and all that too. So anyway, that's those are the three particular items we wanted to discuss today. And I hope you found something interesting in this and find something you can either make use of or volunteer your time or resources to, because these organizations do help veterans, and they always are looking for additional support.
Yeah. All I got there. So thanks for taking the time out of your day to watch, listen, hang out with us for a little bit from a virtual way. And if you haven't yet, spread the word, get the word out about, us. Somebody might need it or want to hear it. Like, subscribe, all the other good stuff. We appreciate anybody who tunes into these things.
Indeed we do. Yes. Thank you for listening. And until next time, we will see you then.
See ya.